Alright, turn time. I already had the turn loaded just now because I was debating with the Zone Collective about what we should trade technology-wise. And I believe I was comparing his tech list with my tech, with what I had in tech and seeing if the costs match up. And I believe we'd come to an agreement about at least something. He's going to give me 2 levels of cargo and 2 levels of storage, and I'm going to give him 1 level of what was it, the small hulls. It's not in this list. Yeah, here, small ship construction, which is a 6k tech for, I believe, a total of 10k points. If I am indeed right, and he does have resupply at 3 and estimates are not lying. Resupply and cargo at 3, where's cargo? Or was it cargo and storage? Yeah. Cargo and resupply is what he said. Cargo and storage is what I see. Cargo and resupply. Oh, here's resupply, cargo, and storage all at 3. Okay. Then let's do that trade. Post trade, set give, attack. Small ship construction appear to be listed alphabetically. Get cargo and resupply. There's a cargo, resupply. There you go. Okay. Let's see what actually happened this turn. We Gambit system. We colonized this world over here, which is, I guess, also going to be somewhat of a military compound. Let's designate it a construction yard. We are going to want at least 1 weapons platform on this here, sir. Fortunately, these are not exactly armed. They just have some PD on them. But if the Kantara Imperium does indeed see this colony and decides to raise it, I would rather have heavier defenses here sooner. And then follow up with the actual space yard and the basic system facilities, and then you can fill the planet up later with whatever. 11 million Romulans are going to find a death in the incinerator. Make space for all these Sheogoraths, Shafaths that can breathe this atmosphere much more easily. And I leave this with 21 facility slots unplanned for. That's fine. I mean, this queue is going to take forever to actually build anyway. Okay. We launched all the drones here. That's true. Anything new happen here? Doesn't look like it. He had that cargo ship that was going to go fetch something from this planet last turn. Where is it? There it is. Deliverer. From there. Only ship. And the deliverer flies back. Okay. But what did he actually pick up on this planet? Maybe he picked up 1 weapons platform and then constructed another. Maybe he's hauling people back. Oh, look at this. Yeah, he's got migration. He's hauling his own people back because he's now got migration from the Kenta Imperium. I see. So he can also make use of carbon dioxide because of that migration now. Unlike me, he's not just shoving his people in the incinerator, though. He is being nice and transports them back to his homeworld or wherever they came from. It's gonna take longer for the planets to actually be productive that way, but it's certainly something you can do, especially if you roleplay as somebody who's not an evil bastard. Alright, so that's what he's doing. That also means that his plan is likely going to build a lot more facilities in the near future rather than weapon platforms, although 8 weapon platforms are already quite nasty. Good, we decided that this drone group here was going to intercept the Gurak drones, which have gone where exactly? Movement log, enlighten me. There they are. Looks like they are going up after all. Of course, it doesn't help that I don't have sensors in the black hole system itself. So now I'm going to need to cover this warp point and this one. And then once he does come out of the black hole system, he's gonna see that I have drone groups as well that are suspiciously close in design to those that the Twilight Collective has, who I believe is declaring war. They're declaring war on each other this turn or something. Ella just said. So yeah, there's that. But that I doubt I will be able to claim that I am not part of this block here, allied with Mystic. There's 27 drones, all just flying about. There's a 21 drone group up here. Huh, discovered another system. These 4 destroyers are still there. Looks like they flew back. I thought they were here up there. Yeah, he sure flew them back. Did he launch these drones or what? No. May make sense. By now he can expect that he has something coming for him. It appears to be this little carrier group. Santa Claus class. This guy sometimes has funny class names. That's Santa Claus. I think stuff names like Abuser are just in the aggressive names list. So it's just something to click into the list for. But his stations here, the space yards, are all advanced pineapples. No, I've seen him do advanced pineapples before in a game. This appears to be just what space yards are meant to be in his head. Alright, we launched these fighters, but they're obviously too late to actually intercept these drones, so let's launch the remaining 2, I believe, into this little group as well. And then we have a 5 fighter group that can go and intercept individual ships or something. Okay. To make sure that we actually get the intercept, because his drones are 11 speed and so are mine. Oh, but I believe my drones have extra speed because of the combat thrusters. So yes, I believe I can catch them. I believe I actually simmed that to make sure that they actually do catch them. Yes, they are very nicely bunched up around the war points and definitely going to be in weapons range. Would suck if my ships were just spawning somewhere in the middle of space next to it and not in weapons range. So I can definitely catch them on war points. Good. You are this group here. You are going to have these 2 drone groups escorting you, of 3 of the PD drones each. You are going to take a formation, ideally one that has the other core ships right in front of it. There was recently some debate about the, core escort and packet slots. If you look at the task force formations, you can see that in the most recent version of Balance Mod, there are no escort and picket slots anymore, because as it turns out, they're bugged in the game. And the game doesn't really work as you would expect. So you would always have, I don't know, say you have 10 drones or 10 ships assigned to a task force, and some of them are, or most of them are core, but then you have one or two on escort or something. And the escort ships don't just get assigned the escort 1 and escort 2 slots. No, it just numbers all ships, and then it puts, I don't know, if you set the ships number 8 and 9 on escort, and they will try to find the 8th and 9th escort slots, which tend to be somewhere you won't expect them to be. So in order to use these slots, you would need to count all your ships all the time, which is annoying. Which is why Quark has decided to just simplify it to only core slots. So if you take, I don't know, the Flying V formation, for instance, the lead ship is going to be there. That's going to be our planet invader, and then the escorts are going to be slightly ahead of it and to the sides. That's going to be a fine formation. Flying V formation is usually good. This one has 1 and 2 slightly behind. This one has them in front and a little bit offset. The right has them a little bit behind. Windsor has them a little bit there. Wall, which is the standard, like these wall L is the standard, has them to the side, the smaller walls. A little bit different. These all come in these small, medium, and large formations, because obviously you can see in the comparison here that they can accommodate more ships. It was made for what, 32 ships, or up to 49 ships, there's even. And this one, the small one, is just for 12 ships. And the spacing in between these ships is also smaller. It doesn't show you this in the preview very well, but in the large ones it appears to be always a little bit more. Spacing is 15 for small and medium. For large it's 25. Looks to be consistent that way. So typically just go for the smaller or medium formations, because you generally want your ships to bunch up as much as possible. Alright, we can go for the Flying VS just fine. Gonna send it to attack and defense formation, because we want that to happen in all combat. Attack strategy is capture planet. Defense strategy is capture planet. Well, I guess we don't actually need the extra task forces. We now add extra task forces, we'll just re-add 1, 2, 3 there, okay. Yeah, whatever. We decided that we are not going to have the planet disarmers and the planet invaders in one fleet anyway, so this will be just fine. And then, yes, you have the fleet formation as well, which is different from the formation of how the ships are laid out, which dictates how the ship groups are laid out. But if we only have one group, we can just take this one, whatever. Okay, so you are ready then. There was still the Hawk, the warship that we had coming. We only need this to escort a group of drones inside a fleet. And the drone group that was going to do the actual fighting already sent to guard the jump point down there, so I'm not going to join that Hawk into the fleet right now. That's the mine layer. We told to go laser mines there. Not gonna be there before the Gurak drones could come through, most likely, so I'm going to have these drones here for a little bit. You're almost done surveying the system. In fact, you just need to move 2 tiles up, and then these will be covered as well, and then you can go and move inside the wormhole, the black hole system as well. Should go and survey it. Go ahead and survey this. Why not? Just for my sense of completeness, not like there is anything here. There's ice. For this one, you do not need to load pop. And then all the drones we launched in this system. Okay, if we hit space, we only arrive at the drones in the system. Good, where are we going to launch them? What's the fastest way for you to go here? I'll just down and bunch up with these drones, I guess. What I can do is just designate as a warp point, a waypoint. You do that with hitting Control 1, like a control group in an RTS. And you can move these around. I'm going to delete your orders real quick and give this an order to move to waypoint 1, which is also a control node 1 or something to go to that location, but control W for waypoint. That's what I'm going to do with all of these. Or it shows you this little list with the waypoints. Where I just double click with the mouse to quickly select that one. Okay, they're all set to go to waypoint 1 now. And also queue sentry afterwards, but I haven't done that for all of them now. And this way, even if you have, I don't know, 20 ships en route somewhere, you can just decide to have the waypoint go somewhere else. And then the ships will all fly there instead now. Okay. They should all go and come together, collect themselves. There's nothing else we need to worry about in the system here right now, right? Many beautiful research facilities still. We queued up some colony ships up, but that's it. These first colony ships that I told my ally to build to claim the remaining planets in here. I was just going to guard that warp point in case there's anybody sneaking through. Okay, our research. Yeah, we must have finished the planet bombardment weapons, so we'll reset it out cloaking. Oh, and we got a system chart and technology report. Currently technical for energy stream weapons, which is APBs, we know that. Tech level 1 projectiles, which is a basic DUCs, and tech level 2 in small base construction. Okay. Tech level 2 there's awkward, but don't necessarily need it or not need it. But tech level 2 of contributory engines from our ally. We'll send that colonizer out and nothing else of particular note happened. Right. We told this planet what to build. So in order to decide what to do about these planet bombardment weapons, let's take one of the drones and see if napalm is in the list. I don't see it. Do you? Looks like napalm you can indeed only shoot from actual ships. There you go, combat ship design here. Hey look, planetary napalm and the gimmick radiation bombs. Like, hurt planet conditions? What? Make the people a little bit more unhappy? Why not just eradicate the planet instead? Would it have extra range? No, we have the same range. Direct fire, tons. I don't see why I would use these really. Anyways, what would a bombardment ship of ours look like? 3 of these and I guess heavier protection. Because you're going to need to absorb some of these APB shots. And you're going to want ECM. I believe we discovered that our shield generators had great value for their size, right? With these 200 shield points, the 30 HP from the generator itself. Whereas armor is less. Did we calculate this or was this another game? I don't know. 230 divided by 30 is 7.6 HP per kiloton, whereas this is 7. Okay, so not much of a difference. Are they cheaper? Yeah, they are. 6 of these is, I'm afraid, more expensive on minerals than one. Okay, 861. 945. More expensive. Okay, let's go for a shield. Shields are nice in the way that they can actually recharge between turns as well. Better for an offensive ship. Then let's have 3 plates of armor in. You could put in a massive armor plate, which is only 5 kilotons per size point. But I'm not expecting to be hit by a lot of like point defense weapons or fighter weapons that have low damage. Okay. And we have a ship with 305 protective HP, which is really not a lot. That's only a couple of APB shots. But if you can get those napalm off, that'd be nice. What you really want for the napalm is, since they're a direct fire weapon, they are affected by large weapon mounts and get an extra 10 kilometers of range. So that you don't have to dive all that deep inside the range of a defending planet. Better if we had larger. It would be better if we had larger hulls to put this on. Oh well. Well, it's Devil Spawn or something, since it's just supposed to nuke everything. What, a Firehawk maybe? No, Hawk is already our scout ship. Sure, call it Victorinus. It sounds considered enough. Our strategy is going to be race planet by default. If we're going to want to disarm planets, we're going to be putting it into fleets that have that as a task force strategy, but you are going to race planets, which basically just means optimal range. Actually, I can set it to bombard planets. They can only hit planets anyways. Design type is going to be ship bombardment. There you go. Sim that against the planet, because why not? Remus has 3 Banshees. And we are bringing to the table a couple of these new bombardment ships. Let's see how this plays out. When these Banshees have really low range because they don't have any missiles by themselves. They only have these 2 ABBs. One shot gets absorbed, just barely. The second one is devastating. The bombardment ramp is also devastating. It goes down from 10,000 damage to something else, but as you can see, a lot gets absorbed by the facilities. So even with just 6 APBs on the planet, this is still very much a victory for the weapon platforms. Weapon platforms are effective. Let's resim that. Maybe the answer is not napalm. Maybe the answer is just more plasma missiles. Give me Remus again. Put the same 3 weapon platforms on here. There it is. And now just put in, I don't know, 20 or 30 of my Nero class drones. 26. No, this should just reach missile saturation, right? Right? Yes, some are getting through. Basically a constant stream instead of one big volley, so the point defense has time to work all the time, but they got overwhelmed quickly enough. Very nice. Yeah, if he is not shooting back with plasma missiles that have the same range and can hit drones at the edge of theirs, I think napalm is not the answer. Then let us not put any more tech into napalm and just continue focusing on our cloaking devices. And just build more of these beautiful little drones. Okay. What's it look like? Anybody need orders? Nobody here is currently out of anything to build. We are actually fine on resources. I'm gonna screenshot this and post it to my ally real quick. We're keeping each other in the picture about our economic situation. We need to know when to give each other resources and when not. Yeah. And then our first wave is slowly starting to go down here. Not the colony ship, of course, the invaders and the drones. All right. I think our homeworld ran out of stuff to do. I was going to remodel this thing. We do not need this many organics farms, so we can immediately delete all organics farms on a homeworld and suffer no effects. Now our surplus is much smaller, and we have 5,000 kilotons of free space on our homeworld, which we are most likely going to just fill with mineral miners. Mineral miners and a value improvement plant, because why not? So that's great value on all three resources. I did not already build one either. Good. And we're gonna want more of that. Homeworld's always a great place to put monolith facilities later. Monolith facilities are in the planet utilization tree, which is pretty expensive to get up though. If you only start to get them at level 5 or 10, I think it's 10. I looked it up in the tech sheet the other day and I was a little shocked again at how late they are in this tree. It's usually better to just focus on extraction instead of trying to shoot for monoliths right away. Alright. Anything else need doing? Diplomacy we already did at the start of turn. At least this trade. There's nothing else we're really doing. I don't need to trade anything with my ally right now. Adopt, they are going to be happy to trade with me. I'd like to make more contact with these guys and trade something more, but just so that we don't immediately devolve into blocks, like make them feel that they have some options for communicating with others as well, and fruitful cooperation. But that requires effort. Maybe you'll find a chance to do that between turns. Let's look at the comparison screen. Our ally score number 1 by quite a difference than me. And after that, Quack and Gurak, Cantor Imperium in last place. I am way ahead of everybody on research and intelligence. My ally is way ahead of everybody in hardware build. We are both on top on planets, although the Gurak and the E also have a lot of planets now. Just plain unit numbers is usually not very important a number. You can't glean very much from this. Very much a difference if somebody built 60 weapons platforms or 60 mines. Ships and bases tend to be more uniform in size, but still. I know that 13 of his are the RD stations that are constructing things around his homeworld. Makes you wonder what his remaining 30 ships are, if you know that his main troops or his main forces are actually drones. Can we glean any info from the graphs? There was actually a dip in score for orange. Interesting. What would cause such a dip in score? You can get a dip in population if you load population on a not necessarily troop transport or population transport, but that shouldn't cause such a dip in score. Oh yeah, resource generation went down, huh? Looks like he deleted some facilities and replaced them with something else. Maybe on his homeworld. Here the Slurpee Raiders had a big bump that other turn. Research also went down. Maybe one of his planets, maybe even his homeworld got not bombarded, but blockaded for a turn. Maybe these Gurak drones were in orbit of it for a little bit. Huh, that's quite a dip. Gurak here is finally building research centers. Intelligence, more people are building some now. Hope it's very impactful though. Tech levels, looks like nobody has made new share agreements. My ally and me is still pretty much the same level here. Population, everybody's still where they are. Okay. Good. I'll make a save and then end a turn. I'm not going to make individual saves for every turn, so I'm just going to make SD save. I guess that's fine. Okay. See you next time.